How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Now Taxes is 100% free when you file in the TurboTax app if you didn't file with us last year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just do your own taxes in the app by 2/18.
What if I have lots of forms?
All good, all 100% free.
What if I had 3 jobs?
Still 100% free.
What if I once saw Bigfoot?
That has nothing to do with taxes, so still 100% free.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Now this is Taxes. See if you qualify in the TurboTax app. Excludes TurboTax Live, must start and file in app by 2/18.
Have you ever considered what it's like to immerse yourself in a sound bath? Well, I have you covered. Join me as I invite a special guest to dive into the unique experience of a sound bath and spill all the details on the Afterbath. Welcome to the Afterbath, where we explore unique experiences and wellness practices. I'm your host, Matt. Today we have a special episode where we'll be diving into the world of sound baths. If you've ever wondered what it's like to be immersed in soothing sound waves, you're in for a treat. Join Loretta as she embarks on the grand finale of her transformative sound bath journey, the 6th and most profound session yet. After experiencing the full depth of sound's healing power, she's gone from I'll squeeze it in if I've got time to realise that this practice is as essential as eating, sleeping and maybe even coffee. Big call, I know. So what began as a casual experiment has become a sacred commitment to her well-being. Let's stick around to watch Loretta take the final beautiful step towards balance, harmony and pure bliss. So inner peace, here we come. Loretta, welcome back.
Thank you.
Your final sound bath, number 6.
Number 6.
Yeah.
We had a fortnight break.
Yes. Yep, little break. So now that's interesting. What are you experiencing now? You had a little break.
Yes, my brain's missing that clear out. I don't know, like we only just mentioned a detox for the brain. I think
Yes.
the sound bath that has shown me that helps with a level of clarity.
Yep.
In the last fortnight, it's been busy because it's Christmas time, and
Yes.
and we also had the builders come in, so I had to clear out a lot of stuff. So I had to compress into a fortnight, packing up almost 10 years worth of my work down in my studio, pack it all up, but do it in a way that I can unpack it without it being totally chaotic.
Yes.
So that was a deadline to meet. And
so it was a pretty busy week. It wasn't probably like a normal week.
Wasn't a normal week.
Yeah. Well, that's good for us to know. I mean, you know, we don't want to give the idea that now that you're on sound baths, you have to maintain sound baths.
No, but it made me aware of the difference that it does make.
Yeah.
With my thinking, with my overall energy levels as well.
Yeah. 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 I think, I mean, for me, I have an extensive practice that I do every day. And, you know, I'll be very thought about that. It's a long practice. And I choose to do it. And I get up very early in the morning to do it.
Yes.
And I wouldn't miss it ever. Like, there is not a day that I don't sleep in on Sunday.
Okay.
Even when I'm sick. And I've gotten sick a couple of times with really debilitating things where I've gotten up and been very hard to function and still done the practice. And at the end of the practice, I'm like, like totally cured. Like a little bit of malaise, but everything else just gone, which is pretty crazy.
So if you didn't do that, how do you think you'd feel?
Yeah, I would still be totally fine. I'd still be able to function, that's for sure. I think I would probably feel like a bit rough. You know, it's probably a little bit like, you know, when you wake up in the morning and if you have a shower every morning and you don't have a shower, you can feel that like, oh, I'm looking forward to having a shower.
Yes. Yeah.
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 So I've always been, like a practicer, whether it's practicing instruments or, going to the gym or going for a run. I like to do
the practice.
To do the practice, yeah. And yeah, the way it makes me feel, it's like eating, or going to the bathroom. Would you decide, no, today I'm not going to the bathroom, I'm going to be so lazy, I'm going to sit on the couch, no bathroom for me.
Yeah.
Or you go, no, I'm not going to eat today, unless it was a fast, right? You go,
yeah.
Sure, yeah, absolutely, and that can make you feel good as well. But, for me, practice is like, it's like going to the bathroom. When I feel the urge to go, I've got to go. Yeah, there's no sitting around. Yeah, I'll deal with that tomorrow. So, yeah.
Yes. So would you feel smudgy? Like, I'm feeling smudgy. I'm really feeling just, I don't have the clarity today. And it's because of a lack of sleep and just a whole, Yeah,
definitely smudgy, foggy, a bit grimy.
Yeah.
Like you're used to the sharpness and the sharpness and the clarity just isn't there. And it's like, I'm looking forward to bringing that back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And an interesting thing I think about that is that I used to think that sleep would cure it. I just got more sleep, it would cure it. And yes, it will to a point. But if you're having, nightmares while you're sleeping, you're going to wake up not fully rested. And for me, I don't know about other people, but if I've got a lot on my mind, having a sleep doesn't totally erase it. I'll wake up and still be thinking about, those things that are disturbing me. And I realise that the dreams that I have will be about those things. I remember speaking to a girl a couple of years back, and she'd just, come out of COVID, and she was feeling very anxious. And she asked me, did I know much about dreams? And I said, well, a little bit. She said, oh, what do you think this means? And she goes, I keep trying to run away from things, but I can never get away from them. I'm always caught. And I said, well, what's your waking life like? And she goes, I'm anxious in big crowds, or even in little crowds. I'm nervous around people. And I'm like, well, sounds like you're dreaming about what your waking life is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if your waking life is disturbing, your sleep is probably going to be pretty disturbed as well. So, yeah, having a practice where you whether it's breathing, sound baths, meditation, yoga, whatever it is, having some type of practice. Tai Chi? Yeah. Qigong?
Yeah.
Yeah. All of those mindful practices. I mean, it could also be an art practice as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially doing something that is pointless, and it's pointless. Like, it doesn't have an
aim or a goal in place.
Correct. Yeah, it's not like you're trying to catch a fish, and if you don't catch a fish, you won't be eating tonight.
Yeah.
It's like it's like if you got a piece of chalk and you just drew a circle, and you drew 108 circles.
Yeah.
The rain is going to wash it away tomorrow. It's totally pointless. But that process of doing it is very clearing for the mind. It can be also journaling and then ripping out the page, throwing it in the bin. or
Okay.
burning it as a, as you might say, an offering.
Yes. Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just did this, and I wrote some stuff, and none of it is that precious, and so I'll offer it.
Jeez.
Let it go.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a good one. Or you could put it in water and dissolve it, and then bury it in the ground. Pour it into the compost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you're getting it out of your head and then destroying it in some way.
And let it get broken down
Correct.
into another form.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Because it will always nourish the ground. Yeah, always nourish the ground. And that's, like when people talk about grounding, they're sending their negative energy, down through their legs. And yeah, you're grounding. It's the same idea.
Yes.
You're just getting it out in a different form. And yeah.
Yes, it's just highlighting the importance of this sort of practice of either the breath work or meditation, sound work, just to help with that clarity of mind as what you're aiming for, but to bring it into a daily practice, because I still don't have it as a daily practice. I have it as a afterthought every 4 or 5 days. It's like, oh, okay, I haven't done that, and I'm starting to feel the effects because I haven't. So, but breath work is something that's really starting to interest me. On reflection of the last 5 sessions, I actually thought, I think there were 2 sessions that when I came out, it was so vivid in the garden, and prior to that we'd done some breath work. Yeah. And I feel like that impacted, that sort of brought it up another level. Yeah. Yeah. So it's sort of dawning on me now that breath work for me is really having a lot of benefits.
Yeah, breath work is amazing. Wim Hof is well worth checking out. Yeah. And there's probably plenty of other, like Indian practices that you can do, pranayama and things like that, and they're all beneficial. Yeah. Yeah, all really beneficial. Probably what we've found in our day and age, and I'm guessing, is that some of these practices that we probably did in ancient times as a form of maybe just every day, this is just what you did. And as we've become more modern, we probably looked at some of these practices and gone, oh, these practices are silly.
They're wasting time.
Yeah, they're wasting time. Yeah, that's right. I could be devoting it to, buying a better car or a bigger house or more material possessions. Yes. Or, filling your bank account so you can retire at some stage. And so neglecting practices that are actually really important for our animal body. Yes. And if we don't have these practices, we just go crazy.
Well, I think I've been contemplating, with Alzheimer's. Yeah. If you bring the breath work in early enough, is that part of clearing out each day, helping to...
Absolutely.
Detox your brain, aerate.
Yeah.
Your thinking.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's important that we have time to, you might say, trip. Because, if you ever look at cats, they sit and look at the weirdest things. The other day I was watching my cat and it was, like, intently looking at the pillow, and its head was probably about 20 centimetres away from the pillow and intensely looking at the pillow. And it was like, what are you looking at? And it was this strawberry pillow, and I was thinking, I just must really like strawberry pillows. Yeah. But, there's, I think it's just important for our vehicle that we do it. Yeah, we need to defrag.
Now more than ever.
Yeah, because our brain is just bombarded with really a lot of useless stuff. I mean, some of it's pretty fun, but a lot of it's like completely, it's probably just taking up too much space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you often don't remember.
Yeah.
20 minutes after it, even if it's a long form read, I sometimes think, what was that I was so absorbed by?
Yeah.
So focused on?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you move on.
Yeah.
Quickly move on. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing I've been contemplating the last couple of days is the addiction to thinking. Like I love to think.
Same.
And it only takes a little bit for my mind to go, oh, yeah, have you thought about what happened yesterday from this angle? And I'm like, oh, no, I haven't. That sounds pretty good. Let me contemplate that for a bit. And I go, what am I doing? Stop it. Put it down. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's gone. Who cares?
Yes. Yeah.
There's no amount of hero and victim worship that is going to resolve some nonsense that happened.
Yes.
And you should probably you let it dissolve. Yeah. But yeah, it's so addictive. Yeah.
We're addicted to that drama.
Yeah, addicted. Totally addicted.
Yes.
Yeah. And if we don't have it in our lives, we love to watch it. You know, movies, TV shows, read it in books.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, when was the last movie you watched that was really nothing other than just swaying flowers?
I actually took a video like that just the other day.
Wow.
I know, and I played it back yesterday and I thought,
Yeah.
that is so nice to just, there's no narrative, there's no, 3-act structure. It's just the wind blowing through the beautiful trees and
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But you'd probably find a lot of people going, well, you're a nutter.
Well, I am, but yeah. But I liked it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, very calming. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that will probably become a very popular thing in years to come when people become less addicted to drama and they'll want to see just, like beautiful things. And maybe even the form of having an artificial reality will become so, of such nonsense that you'll just go, why would I watch the TV when I can go and see the real thing?
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm just going to go and sit outside.
Yeah. And it's like spending time I was with the grandkids yesterday and we just decided to go for a walk down the street. And a walk down the street takes forever.
Yeah.
Because they notice so much.
Yeah.
The cicada encasings, it was still stuck to the paper bark trunk.
Yeah.
And they're finding one after another, and we just started to think about, cicadas when we were little, the whole neighbourhood would just be one big sound of their hum.
Yes.
And now we hardly have
anything.
any.
Yeah.
So just to be in their world and have it all slowed down and have that hyper focus on these beautiful things in nature.
Oh, yeah.
We came back and it was so lovely.
Yeah.
Our whole vibe was different. The pace was different.
Yeah.
They weren't trying to beat each other. But yeah, we all went into a different world, and it's just something that we sort of quickly ride a bike past quickly, or we drive past quickly, and we've sort of...
Yeah, we've got a massive to-do list and
we've
got half an hour for each activity and it needs to be completed.
Zip, zip.
Yeah. We need to walk at least 1 kilometre, otherwise I won't have my steps in on my watch.
Tick that off. Next.
Yeah. Come on, kids, you're not walking fast enough.
You're dragging them.
Yeah.
But this butterfly. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. My
Butterfly,
steps
butterfly.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of them.
That's right. Steps are more important. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. Yeah. Yeah. Kids are great for that. Yeah, because it's and it's wonderful, I think, in that time when you have them, where you're so focused on, I've got to do this and I've got to do that. You know, like, we had kids who were around our early 30s, and at that point it was like, we got to make money.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so you were just running from one thing to the next.
No time to look at the paper bark on a tree.
Yeah, absolutely. No time. Yeah. Don't you know Daddy has to get home and write a song? Yeah. And then he has to try and post it all in one day.
Yes. You just don't understand.
Yeah, yeah. How important this is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. So, but here we are.
Yes.
Yeah. Older, hopefully wiser.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Slowing down and realising, actually, you know what, there's a lot of wisdom in those kids. We should probably take more notice.
Totally agree.
Yeah. But so, yeah, I think as grandkids come along, you go, oh, yeah, I totally get it now. Totally get it.
Definitely.
And they probably appreciate grandparents because they go, finally.
Somebody's listening to me. No.
Yeah, exactly.
They get good attention from the parents, but you know they're juggling things. So
yeah, it's a different type of attention.
Yeah,
different type. Yeah. Fantastic. Well, should we go and get rid of this grime?
Definitely, yes, please.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to the sound bath.
Okay.
Imagine a moment carved out just for you. Reclined in gentle stillness, you are cradled by waves of pure, resonant tones, Tibetan singing bowls, gongs and chimes, weaving their magic. Each sound becomes a loving embrace, reaching into the deepest corners of your being, dissolving tension and inviting serenity. In this sacred space, the outside world melts away. The chatter of the mind quiets, replaced by the soft hum of harmony flowing through you. It's not just an escape, it's a homecoming, a reminder of your innate balance, strength, and connection to the infinite. Here, relaxation is just the beginning. A sound bath is a radiant pause in life's rhythm, offering renewal, clarity, and peace. Whether you're seeking a moment of stillness or a deeper connection to yourself, this is your time. Step through the doorway and let the whispers of the universe guide you back to your center. This is your invitation to realign, recharge, and remember the essence of who you are. Loretta.
Yes.
Welcome back. So here we are.
Yep.
At the final podcast. Yeah.
The finish line.
Yeah, the finish line.
That was lovely.
Great.
Yes.
Great. Excellent.
Just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, good. So you noticed the difference between, you said you felt smudgy.
Very smudgy.
Yeah.
Yes. Murky thinking. Just felt slow and just, yeah.
And now?
And now, very relaxed.
Yeah.
Clearer.
Yeah.
Definitely clearer. And very interested in what happened during that session. That was,
Yeah, okay.
And now that I'm more mindful of how you go through that process and how my mind starts off so chattery, and I was used to having like 5 or so minutes of heavy chatter going on.
Yes.
I felt that coming on and I quickly just went, okay, I'll cut this short.
Yeah.
I got into it like a gratitude mindset. I started to thank my dad and thanking my husband and my brothers and then going out broader, you know, that thank you to the universe and all this thing and thank you for Matt and all this. And so it stopped all the chatter. And that was when you were going through the chime, that beautiful chime sequence.
Yeah.
But it's funny that then had me talking to myself too much about, because I brought up some issues with, I can now see it was an issue with masculinity rather than issues with my dad. I had a beautiful father.
Yeah.
Great relationship with him.
Yeah.
Lots of fond memories, but I had issues with the masculine culture that I grew up in that we're still deeply embedded in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the expectations well, we will have a whole set of expectations, but from a female perspective, what I grew up in was a certain way of being, and I was expected to follow in the footsteps of Mum and do what she was doing, and she looked miserable, and she was overburdened with way too much domestic chore and no agency. She had, zero options of what to do except for cook, clean, and be housebound. Yeah. So I didn't see that as a great option for myself, and just saw, well, why can't I do what the boys are doing? And so what came up in that chime sequence, even though I was in a gratitude space, was frustration with that hierarchy that we were stuck in. Yeah. And I say we because, Dad was doing his best, but he was still a traditional male expecting me to be a certain way. Yeah. Yeah. And hence, so my brothers had that same level of expectation, and as we grew up, nothing really changed. Yeah. And, to a certain extent, even my husband has that. And a lot of it's unconscious. Yeah, of course. Because they're all great people that I love. Yeah. But it's a set of cultural expectations that we haven't shaken off. Yeah. And that was sitting there in that lovely sequence in the middle of something that was really good, and it was starting to, I teared up over it, and I was like frustrated and angry, and that's what came up. You sensed it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't... Yeah. Telepathy's... however you want to think of it, it's real. Yeah, yeah. And everyone experiences it. It's just that they're... like when you're thinking of someone and they send you a text. Yeah. Or you're sitting in the car and you feel that the person next to you in the car next to you, even though you're not looking at them, you can feel them gazing at you. Yes. And then you glance across and they are looking at me. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So there is an energy transference that you pick up on. Yeah. And we're surrounded by it. Yes. And that's why I think at some stages in my life I found it very uncomfortable to be in crowds, because it's, obviously there's a lot of people that you need to navigate, but there can be also a lot of thoughts, and also a lot of, I don't want to make too much eye contact with people. There's a lot of fear that comes up. Yeah. Yeah. And it's not all physical fear. There's just a lot of what you'd call interfering thoughts, ugly thoughts that pop into your head, and you start going, this is not me. Why am I thinking these thoughts? I'm not a bad person. Yes. I keep getting ugly thoughts, and I don't know why. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe you might be picking up thoughts around you. That's at least what I experience. And when I go into these more mindful states, they're a little bit easier to pick up. Yeah. Yeah. And actually, I had that at its strongest, that telepathic approach with Dad. Yeah. Like, he could make a phone call at that exact moment where I was hoping he would call or needing to talk to him. Yeah. And that happened so many times. Amazing. Over and over. And we were, close enough on that level. Yeah. That actually opened my mind to understanding other ways of being because of that. And he used to tell me stories of how when he was younger, he was like that with an auntie that brought him up. Wow. same level of telepathic understanding, or if one was in distress, the other one understood or knew that something that they had to be there to help. And he had the same thing with his little dog, and and he was a very matter-of-fact kind of person, but he also had that intuitive sense, very strong intuitive sense.
Yeah.
That he wouldn't so much, I suppose, talk to his mates about or at work, but it was something that he passed on to me, would talk to me about,
Yeah, absolutely. I think most people probably have these experiences, and just the social condition of, I don't want to be ridiculed, so I won't talk about these things because, well, I don't want, there's a lot of times when we talk to people and the conversation's really quite shallow.
Yeah.
And talking about telepathic stuff seems like a pretty deep conversation. And you don't want to be just dismissed as, Crackers over here thinks.
You're out there.
Yeah. It's fascinating,
Isn't it?
Fascinating.
Interesting that stuff, that whole theme, that frustration that I've had it's actually come up as a theme really strongly over the last couple of months. And I've got such anger with it, but I can't articulate it. There's no avenue to discuss it because it makes people feel like they're being blamed or they're wrong. But it's just I see it as a cultural framework rather than a personal indictment. It's definitely like rattling the cage as a woman and thinking, why did it have to be this restrictive? Why did it have to go on for this long? It's still going on. And I can see change coming through from the younger ones in their 20s that just don't even see the cage. They say, well, stuff that. I'm not even going
subscribe
to it to start with.
Yeah.
I don't see it. You all grew up seeing it, but I don't, so it's not my reality.
It's your issue.
Yeah. But because we've grown up with it, with men of our similar era, it's still an issue that can't totally be addressed. So it sits in as a frustration, and that was in that session.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the mission of meditation. It's to, what happens throughout our lives is we experience a trauma, and then it gets pushed into a little black box, and metaphorically, and then pushed down into our system.
Yes.
As you might say, a knot in a muscle.
Yeah.
And it's really deep.
Yes.
And it's only when you feel totally safe that it has time to surface. And then it surfaces.
Yes.
And then you have a chance to rewrite it.
So interesting. And the symbols that came up were, in calligraphy, there's a classic drawing of a circle and then a triangle and a square.
Yep.
And I saw what I was trying to do with my life was the circle.
Yeah.
That I saw everyone as equal.
Yeah.
I sort of try, like in terms of sometimes you just go stupid and you I'm older than you, all that crap.
Yeah.
And the triangle I saw as the hierarchy.
Yep.
And I see it in this point in time as the masculine hierarchy, patriarchy. And the square is just the system overall. Yeah. And I felt like, I'm forever in this circle butting against these other two structures that I didn't sign up for them.
Yeah.
I'm living here at this point in time, but I've never agreed with it.
Yeah.
And it's unfair and it doesn't work and it's frustrating and it's demoralising.
Yeah.
Purely because of gender and age. So, that symbol was the first thing that came up.
Yep.
And then I started to think of Dad, thanking Dad, being grateful for Dad. So it wasn't anger at that point, but it actually that discussion started to go on and on and on until you hit the gong.
It's always the gong, isn't
it?
Yeah, it's just like all right, here we go. big explosion. Yeah.
Back to universal thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because right up until that point, there's just a whole lot of bowls, and the bowls are so gentle, and, you know, you feel so floaty, and it's so much love, and, well, it's safe. That's what it is.
Yes.
It's safe.
It's pond-like. It's like
Yeah.
the ripples in the pond just rolling into each other.
Exactly. And you start to feel safe enough to uncurl. And so you stretch out, and and then everything starts to fall out, all the baggage.
Yeah. It exploded.
Yeah. And then the gongs come along, and it's like, yeah, have you forgotten that you're way more than all of this petty stuff? But it doesn't feel petty at the time.
No.
Yeah.
Felt very serious, very important.
Yeah.
And the whole picture.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And at least what I experience is that we have a society where we have everyone is carrying their own trauma, and everyone is doing their best to return to a safe space or homeostasis or home or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And along the way, they bump into someone else who's doing the same thing, and they just collide. And their two states of being, which is based around trauma, just goes off like a firecracker.
Yeah.
And so I definitely see it from teaching a lot of kids that well-meaning parents, you know, have a to-do list and drag the people who that they feel that they can have some type of power over, to drag them along for their traumatic ride. Not because they're aware of that, or not because they want to do that. It's just an unconscious, daddy has to do this, mummy has to do this, we've got a certain amount of time, you've got to come along. And if you don't behave the way that I need you to behave in order for me to get the job done, there's going to be some fireworks. And yeah, you won't like it, but I'm not liking it either. But that's just what's going to happen. And yeah, when you have a massive society that's like that, yeah.
Sparks fly.
Sparks fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, that's just where we're at. Yeah. And
I think that's what that was.
Yeah.
And I'm pointing to this list of chakras, and we were focusing on the heart chakra. Chakra.
Yeah. Yeah, which seems to be the chakra that where a lot of people have blockages. You know, just simply it manifests as, you know, deep hurt. Deep hurt.
Yeah.
Being either misunderstood or not being seen, not being heard, not being whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, yeah. So, yeah, need to make the heart whole. Need to remember that, well, your heart's not actually broken. There's nothing wrong there. You just got to remember that you're born of love. You are love. You can't get any more love than you already are.
Yeah.
And so there's nothing that you've missed out on. But there is this hurt there that needs to be let go of. Yeah. And then the people around you that behave with their fireworks and a bit mischievous, you can go, oh yeah, I see you. I know what you're doing. That's okay. I just won't be party to it.
Yeah.
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 But when you're little, you're still trying to understand the world around you, and it's difficult. It's difficult, yeah. And probably only until you reach a certain age that, you know, that you start to go, oh, hang on. Yeah, I can do better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I only thought that a couple of days ago. I realised, because I had all those frustrations.
Yeah.
And I couldn't work out how best to voice it without it being pointing the finger or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I just sort of relaxed back and went, I don't even have to put words to it. I'll just change the attitude, my attitude, and my response to it, and just kind of accept, and that you can play with it differently.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Not in a mischievous way or,
No.
but just see it and then,
Yeah, you can pour that energy into other things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether it's, an art project, a hobby, or a mindfulness practice.
Yeah.
Or mowing the lawn. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Doing the laundry.
Yeah, doing the laundry. That's it. So, and then eventually at some stage you need to rewrite that story that you're holding. And you need to rewrite it as something that was, positive. So you're not constantly looking at it as, this was a negative event in my life and it's going to be forever a negative event.
Yes.
Yeah.
So well said, yeah. Yeah. Because otherwise it just has a grip on you.
Yeah.
And it keeps coming, you keep revisiting this same pattern, this same scenario.
Yeah.
And nothing is really resolved.
No, that's right. That's right. And, most memory's pretty bad because memories change over time. We forget details.
And it's biased.
Yeah, it is totally biased. Yeah. So, to know that the mind is constantly flip-flopping between hero and victim.
Yes.
That's all it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so when a trauma comes up, you'll either be, most of the time you're probably playing the victim, saying it was unfair. It should never have happened to me. And at some stage you want to go, okay, well, I'm going to stop playing the victim. And it doesn't mean that you need to then go and be the hero either, because that can be just as ridiculous. Anyone who finds themselves in this position, I'm going to protect them. No, you don't need to do that either. You just need to drop it. Yeah. Yeah. And to also realise that there might be a really strong energy there, totally strong. Like this, could be like a Tesla, battery there of energy that just needs to be released. Yeah. Yeah. And if you can drop it all at one time, wonderful. And if you can't do that, that's wonderful too. You just let it dribble out. Yeah. And you keep doing your practices until you go, you know what, I can poke this with a stick and it doesn't hurt anymore. Yeah. Yeah. And I can give it a good poke. Yeah. Yeah, I can even think about it all day and I'm like, yeah, whatever. This is like boring thought now. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. And then it's gone. It's gone. Yeah. And then you'll see it arise in other people and you'll go, oh, yeah, I recognise that. Wow, look at that. Yeah. And it won't make you blush. You won't feel a heat reaction. That's usually what I feel, like when I bump up against something that freaks me out, I'll go, oh, I'm blushing. Well, it got me.
There it is.
There it is, yeah. Yep. And, this wave of embarrassment and confusion. Oh, I can't think all of a sudden. What's going on? Yeah. Yeah, my mind's gone blank. Where are my tools?
Yeah, where's that witty retort when you need it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Usually comes at 2 a.m.
Yeah. Oh, I should have said that. That would have fixed them. No, probably not actually. Would have made things worse. Yeah. Yeah. Or standing in the shower. Oh, next time I see that person, I'm going to say this to them. Yeah. Shower's a good place to think. A better place to drop things down the plug hole. Yeah. Yeah. So anything else come up for you?
I was attempting not to fall asleep again.
Yeah. How'd that go?
About 10 times over, and I think I failed 9 out of 10.
I was actually hoping you'd fall asleep because, I gave the gong a good hit and I thought, okay, I'm going to knock you out. And so I just had this feeling.
I resisted for a little while.
Yeah, I got the sense that, right, you need to be, because you told me that you were tired, I was like, all right, we need to knock you out. Otherwise, you're going to be, it's not going to be a fun ride. So I stayed on the gong for a bit. And then after the gong, I was like, yeah, you're out, that's good.
For long?
You seemed for a while.
Okay. Oh, good.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, you seemed like you had a good sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
Which is good. Yeah.
And the vibration at my ankles, that was really good.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That goes all the way through.
All the way through, yeah. Feet are a very important part of your body because the feet are so sensitive. It's such an easy way to connect to, a portal into mindfulness. Just having your feet on the ground and feeling a rough surface with your feet. Not a painful surface, just something rough. You can feel the texture on your feet. You can immediately go, oh, this actually just feels nice to stand here.
Yep.
Yeah. And I don't need to be doing anything.
Yeah. And on grass, on nice spongy grass. Yeah.
And sand. Yeah, there's so many great surfaces. Yeah.
So that was good, but I at this point can't remember much else. Physically, I've been really sore all week. And that was having to move a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And then up and down stairs. So I felt a lot of the muscles were worked on as well. So they feel quite relaxed.
Yeah.
Neck and stuff. So, yeah, that's always a benefit. I felt that in every session.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty amazing that, you don't realise how much tension you're carrying in your body until you have a reset. You go, wow, I had no idea. No idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a little practice that helps me, and so, and because I do a practice which has certain, I'll say, positive influences, if I think about those practices, immediately I can feel a state change. So it's a little bit like, when I was a kid, I admired Jimi Hendrix. So when I'd sit down to play guitar, I'd imagine myself as Jimi Hendrix, and my playing got better.
Yeah. Yep.
So, So having those things can really help with muscle fatigue. If you have someone you really admire that you go, either a spiritual figure or, probably a spiritual figure. I think that would probably be the strongest, right?
Yeah.
Then you'll find yourself correcting posture, or you'll breathe deeper, or you'll relax more. And then you'll find, oh yeah, wow, I didn't realise. I thought I was sitting up straight, but I was actually, overdoing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's my issue that I find when I go, right, sit up straight, and I oversit. And so calm down. Just find homeostasis. Don't try and be the,
perfect posture.
The perfect posture person. That's right.
Yes.
And so, and anything else?
I did like how quickly I could turn off the monkey mind with gratitude.
Yeah, that's good.
So that just came to me just after a few moments. I just thought this practice of overthinking and having all these conversations going on, I need to test out a little technique and see how quickly I can shift that, and it worked. So
yeah, that's good.
I'll employ that more often.
Yeah. Yeah, gratitude's a great one. Yeah.
And I probably could have done a bit more breathing. I was feeling I didn't have a good breathing. I was a bit tense, I suppose, with my breathing, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's probably a lot of thinking going on, and so you're probably distracted by the thinking rather than breathing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, breathing is an excellent one. It's like, it's great for everyone because everyone does it.
Yeah. Wouldn't be here if you didn't.
Yeah, that's right. And there's no, like, in cultures, girls need to breathe this way and boys need to breathe this way. And or, if you come from a certain religious background or culture. Yeah. Breathing is breathing.
Yes.
Yeah. There. Having said that, there are good practices with breathing. But
to be conscious of. I was never conscious for a long time of how shallow my breathing was for so long.
Yeah.
I was just caught up in that urgent feeling of always having to... I was chasing deadlines and
correct.
We were expected to hurry up and do things, so it was always a shallow breath to, quick, come on, can you just...
Yeah.
I would never say, look, just take a breath to start with, relax into this, we've got time, we can do this.
That's
I never even thought to do that.
Know.
It's only now, it's only in the last year that I'm way more, I am actually conscious of my breathing.
Yeah.
Even in the middle of a frustrating situation, I can feel that, shallow breathing again.
Yeah, because it just feels so good. Once you get into the habit of it, like, why would I want to be any other way? Nice, big, deep, long breaths just feel great.
Yeah. But even in the past, if people would say to help relax the situation, just take a deep breath, that would frustrate me.
Yeah.
But now, if someone said, now come on, take a deep breath, I'd go, yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yes.
So there has been a shift. There has been a change. I'm learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Better late than never.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, you still got a lot of good breathing left in you.
We can revive this one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
Fantastic.
So, but overall, what a great practice. So I now understand how important it all is.
Yeah.
And I'll be looking further into breath work.
Yeah.
Just get into a longer process, a 2-hour breath work process that I'll be trying with a friend in the next couple of weeks.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, it's well worth dedicating a good chunk of time each day. And then it becomes so automatic that you'll find yourself just doing it throughout the day. And then you get into a bit of mischief. And then you'll go, nah, mischief isn't that fun. Yeah, it's much better just to do that. Yeah. Practices. Just feels so much nicer. Yeah. Because, I do it. I go, well, how far can I stretch myself? And then I go, hollow, shallow breathing. This feels bad. I feel really rattled.
Yes.
Yeah. And then once you feel really rattled, you feel really tired. Then you really can't get anything done.
And you feel it in your whole body.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I probably should have done that this morning when I got up. Probably should have done that yesterday when I was all really sore and every muscle aching.
Yeah. That's all right. We did a bit today.
Yes.
And you do a bit tomorrow.
Yes. So overall, I've learnt a lot.
Fantastic.
And I'm so aware now how this modality is important for therapeutically for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah, it's great. Absolutely fantastic.
Like a tune-up.
Yeah, that's right.
Like going to an acupuncturist.
Yes. Yeah. Yep, just getting yourself straightened out.
Yeah.
So everything works again. Fantastic.
So thank you, Matt.
My pleasure.
Really
My
interesting,
pleasure.
very enjoyable,
Yeah.
blissful.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you so much for coming along.
Oh, pleasure.
Been a joy. Yeah, you'll be greatly missed.
Oh, yeah. I'll be back. I'll be back.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be doing a roundup with the other 2 participants probably in the new year, somewhere around.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So that'll be good.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Loretta.
Thanks again.
No worries. See you soon.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us today. This has been a fascinating exploration of soundbaths. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and leave a comment. Join us again next week as we continue to explore the world of soundbaths. Until next time, stay well and keep exploring new experiences.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.